Evening, gentlemen.
Evening.
Marty, how you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing all right.
Good. So Wyatt was going to be the guest tonight, but we got two co-hosts here filling in for Clayton. It takes two of them to fill in for him. We got Mr. Marty Beard again on, and my buddy Wyatt Franzen, part owner of the Blind Guy, one of our sponsors. Appreciate you guys coming on tonight. And we've got a few comments coming. Eric Newman, hey, Eric, thanks for joining us. Brian Warner, good evening, fellow MBEs. You bet you're on with some fellow MBEs right here, my friend. So if the pre-show is any indication how it's going to go tonight, it's going to be pretty entertaining. So I'm laughing just thinking about it already. So, all right, so we're going to start it out like we always do. The Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And Brandon, the people means the people, not the National Guard, just like it does in all the other amendments. So, all right, so line up for tonight. We've been talking about having Wyatt on because Wyatt's been a lifelong pheasant hunter. He's real passionate about it. I've hunted behind his dogs. He's trained his own dogs. Awesome dogs, maybe the best hunting dogs I've ever been behind, actually. And he's working on a new one right now. And so Wyatt, without further ado, why don't you give us a little background of when you started bird hunting and what got you there? Is the new guy right there, Deuce, right there. And he's a big boy already, that's for sure.
He's 10 months old.
He's 10 months, man. He's going to be a monster. That dog is. He likes Marty.
Oh yeah,
Marty, you ain't fitting him in your beard like that one you had stuffed in there.
There's stuff in there no one knows about.
That's a fact right there. That's a fact right there. One shot cap rooster. Absolutely, absolutely. It's going to be. In case you didn't catch any of the pre-show, we're going to be heavy pheasant hunting tonight, and we're going to get into some shotgun stuff too. So, and you know, Wyatt's a big shotgun man. He's a big bird hunter. So Wyatt, what age do you think you started hunting roosters at?
Oh, I must have been around 13 or 14, somewhere in there.
Okay. Marty, how old do you think you were when you started shooting pheasants?
Oh, I don't know, what was that?
Well, right after hunter safety.
Yeah, hunter safety.
You know, I was shooting since I could sit up.
Yeah.
But the shotgun was that's a little different deal. You just don't want to turn anyone loose.
There were a couple BB gun pheasants before hunter safety.
That was what I was just going to say. Before I even could carry a shotgun, I had a BB gun walking around, and I think a lot of young kids, they still do that. I think that's awesome doing that because, you know, pheasant would go down and you'd shoot, and then you'd hear, you know, your grandpa or your uncles or your dad, hey, you must have hit that one. And then, you know, you'd convince yourself you did. So it was always fun. Hey, Vance, thanks for joining us, buddy. Appreciate it. So, and then why did you always hunt behind dogs, or did you always just walk tree rows and draws with your buddies? And what made you decide you want to hunt behind a dog?
Well, years ago, we did. My dad and I, we did some bird hunting, and then we started using a blue heeler of all things. And,
really?
Yeah, and you wouldn't think it works, but she would pound around in the grass.
Yep.
And get stuff up, and
it was better than you doing it, right?
Yeah, and you'd shoot him, and she'd just go stand by him.
Okay.
So, I mean,
that was better than nothing.
And then my dad bought a German wire hair and Gretchen, and we had her for, I think she was 10 or 11 before she got something. And then she was really good, but just it was kind of before the collars came about, and she could hunt really fast. So, you know, it was hard to keep up. But she did, when she'd go on point, I mean, there was something there. And then Dad got a black lab, and then I got my own wire hair, which you hunted behind quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Probably to this day, the best hunting dog I've ever hunted behind, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, he was pretty stout. And then I got Ace. I'm not a big lab fan, but boy, that guy was stellar. I mean, I rescued him in a bad situation, and seemed like he appreciated it every day.
Yeah, well, not only that, I would say when you got Ace, he was a scrawny little dog, and by the time you had him done, he was a beefed up hunting machine. That dog
he filled out.
Yeah, within a year, that was a completely different dog. He was awesome too, and then you couldn't get a friendlier dog than that. So
Oh yeah, he was great. He was great. It was sad to see him go this year.
yeah. I mean, on his last hunt, actually, actually out at our place. I don't know if that was his last one, but one of his, he man, we thought he was getting better, right? Because he was
Yeah,
thought he was getting arthritis and that, and man, he had a good hunt. We're all commenting that was the best he hunted in a couple
yeah,
years, and then right, he ended up breaking his leg, and he found out that he had cancer, right?
yeah. He was pretty well, but the X-ray just showed it looked like popcorn in that leg.
Oh man, yeah, it was unbelievable that he could actually hunt the way he had the
Yeah, it
bone
doesn't make,
cancer.
but yeah, it was horrible.
Because
So,
he didn't he didn't yelp or nothing. I mean, he was
no,
actually seemed like,
yeah.
like I said, and so how old of a dog was, so Fuzz made, how old was Fuzz when he
He
passed
was
on?
right around 10, almost. He was almost 11, and then
Okay.
Ace made it to 12.
Okay.
Now I got this guy.
And Fuzz was a German wire hair. I don't know if
Yep.
you mentioned that. Okay.
And I got him out of Mobridge. And I
Okay.
guys around.
Yep. Well, our listener Gene Cox here from over, he said he carried a 22 around as well. Yep, Gene
Oh, yeah.
carried a lot of 22s, and Eric said you're kind of hard to hear, Wyatt. Is it any different now, Wyatt? But or I mean, Eric. Yeah, maybe try that. Or hey, all right, Waylon said he's watching. He's watching from the Powerhouse Bar. Where's that at? Sounds awesome, but
Yeah. Maybe I have to end up there at some
all
point.
right. Well, Eric Glauser, hey, awesome. Eric's watching us from the ground blind. Good luck tonight, buddy. That's awesome. That's
right.
awesome.
It's bow season, right?
Yep.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah. Yep. For sure. Hopefully you get the big velvet one. So, Marty, did you start out just walking draws with your buddies too? Because I know you're a big dog hunter with the coons, but I mean, how was it with birds? Were you even that big of a bird hunter?
You know, we didn't have bird dogs. I've always had hounds. And so the early birds that I hunted were all walking. Mm-hmm. And then I did have some friends in high school that had bird dogs, but I can say a lot of them were far ranging, busting birds so far out of range. And so, I mean, that's what made a difference. When you hunt behind them good dogs, mm-hmm. It don't matter what it is, if it's hounds or if it's bird dogs, you get accustomed to that, and when they're gone, you miss them. I mean, hell, I'd rather have my wife run away from home than lose some of them good dogs that I've had.
I just saw your wife actually at the dental office the other day. Talked to her for a little bit. Yeah,
you had to get funny. A new tooth.
Yeah, Marty. I might see Marty there next after that comment.
I locked the outside door. She can't get in.
I was face looking through the window.
Yeah,
but yeah, I grew up too, just walking with my buddies. Fortunate still to this day hunting the land I grew up on. And I also hunted around Halliday a lot with the Clee side of my mother, my grandpa Jonas, and my Uncle Mike over there. But and we had German short hairs, not, more like pets and guardian dogs. We had 3 of them, and did little to nothing to train them to bird hunt. But they would go out. The oldest one, the sire of the 2 that we actually kept. I don't know, is that what you call the male dog who?
Yeah, sire.
Okay. Potsy was his name, and that dog, man, nobody taught him how to hunt, but that dog was the most natural hunter. Not nearly as good as your dogs, because like I said, we didn't do anything with them, but that was kind of the first dogs that I hunted behind. The other 2, Sam and Cody, completely worthless hunting dogs, awesome pets, great guardians. I loved them to death, but nothing like the older one. And then finally I met Wyatt probably 1990 or so, and couple years after that, I think we started hunting together, not heavy like we do now, and then I hunted behind Fuzz, and man, I realized what a great hunting dog was, because I hunted behind a lot of other dogs before then, and man, they'd take off running, or they'd flush the pheasants up 500 yards, and you guy doesn't want to say nothing, but you're just like, oh my God, really, dude? Yeah. But yeah, so when you're training the dogs like Wyatt, so when you get a pup, I mean, how do you start out? Like, I'm gonna make this a hunting dog. How do you start out getting them going on that?
I really don't have much of a plan. I got an advantage over some people because I'm on 40 acres. I got a food plot. We're out of town quite a ways. I basically just make sure he doesn't get too far away and let him find shit.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he's found 2 dead ducks this year so far, this spring. Brought me a young turkey the other day.
Yeah.
And a young pheasant the other day. You know, he's bringing them
How
back.
do you? So once they start bringing stuff back, how do you get them to be like, hey, this is a pheasant. This is what I want you to bring back. The other stuff you can smell. Don't bring that shit back to me.
It is kind of when I reward the good stuff and don't say much about the bad stuff. You know, make them when they come back, make it. Oh boy, that was a good job. But if they do something like chasing rabbits or something, and a wire hair generally will yip and bark if it's something with hair on it.
Okay.
And I start vibrating them or giving them a little incentive on the collar to knock it off.
What do they do when they see a porcupine? Because I've seen their noses full.
Well, we're gonna have to work on that yet.
Well, I've been working on that this summer already for you.
Yeah.
I know Marty used to. He's a porcupine raiser now too, so you might get a little flinchy over there.
I bring the porcupines home and I break my dogs off, which I'm gonna bring one home for Ace here. But if you bring them porcupines home, them young ones, you can catch them and break your dogs at home, and then you don't have to worry. All my hounds are broke off porcupines before I ever go to the woods.
So how do you break them on porcupines at home then, Marty?
Well, with my shock collars.
Okay.
You know, when they show interest in it, I'll put that porcupine, you know, usually started in a cage, and then, you know, you don't even have to kill the dang porcupine. You can let him go or make a pet out of him, whatever you want when you're done.
Which you did, yeah.
But yeah, you know, you just basically, you know, dogs are smart. I think, you know, especially the breeding programs now, and I think, you know, even in the last 20 years, they've been breeding good dogs to good dogs, and then you get better dogs.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, and that's how
Smart.
breeding works. I mean, it's when you're controlled. I mean, it's with anything from cattle to dogs to whatever, you know.
Yeah, and then the price has gone up substantially. So you're paying, you might as well get a good one.
So you said you got Fuzz and Lincoln. You said
No, I'm Mobridge.
Mobridge. So what did you have to give for Fuzz back, and what year was that?
It was $400. I think it was right around 2008. Around there, something.
Okay, and what did Deuce cost you? Because you got Deuce in 2020 earlier this year, right?
It was $1,500, and I got him.
Okay, dang it, Joe! He even is affecting the price of dogs.
Yeah. So yeah, and you can't find them for anything less.
Right. I mean, so did you notice, like, from dogs that are bred for hunting compared to just like a Heinz 57? There's definitely a difference there.
The purebreds seem to not live as long as the Heinz 57. You know, that sure seems to be. I mean, there's good ones and everything. It's just some of them get it, some of them don't. I mean, you could have the highest bred, high dollar son of a bitch you could find. Can't even pick up shoes, you know.
Yeah.
And you just get something that's just
stretch my bed slippers.
Yeah, that's about it. So I mean, yeah, it's and I don't know as far as the breeder. We just, you know, he had a bunch of pictures of his dogs and what he had done and how long he'd been doing it. So we're like, and plus we were pretty teary-eyed losing Ace.
Right,
so
right.
And he had pups available, so we just drove down there. I think we were gone 10 days later. We had another dog because we were devastated.
Yeah, because I know you guys are saying no, and then you said you were, and I mean, I thought, hey, great idea. And I mean, there's a dog he can't go to a better home than what he's going to get with you and Tam there. So, and he's going to get his fill of hunting, which I have no doubt about that. I'm going to read some of these comments here before we go on. My mom here comments, Paul Oda, German short hairs are great bird hunters. Yep, as I said, you know, Posse was awesome. Whalen's at the powerhouse. Kevin Gillis out there in Pennsylvania. Hey, folks, evening, Kevin. Eric said he's in the ground blind. Lynette says GSPs run on adrenaline. You know,
German short hairs.
Okay, all right. See, knuckle dragger coming out of me. Can't understand that. Keeping me entertained until the deer show up. Right on, Eric. I hope we are, buddy. One shot cap. My first pheasant I shot was with my grandfather's single shot Stevens 410, and we are going to get into some shotgun talk for sure. I like that idea right there. One shot cap. Gene Cox grew up bow hunting Bob White quail. Hey Gene, by the way, I heard the commercial there for the gun show coming up you got, and I was on the KFYR. It was pretty awesome. Eric Newman, he shot his first pheasant with a single shot 16 behind a Cocker Spaniel. My Uncle Mike actually had a Cocker Spaniel, Brittany Spaniel, actually. Was a pretty good hunting dog too, actually. Kevin Gillis had a bolt action Mossberg 16 gauge, got my first pheasant and all other game with it. And Kevin comes in again, English setter. So, all right, we got all kinds of them, man. I mean, everybody's got their favorite kind of dog. I think our buddy Bachmeyer hunts behind a boxer down there in Rame. So, you know, it's whatever works. And he said, he said it works good for him. It would kind of like he said, maybe it is how you train them a lot of times too. So,
if they can be with you and going out every day, it's a dog. I mean, they got hunting instincts.
Yeah,
that's just how it is.
So I was going to ask you, do you use, like, I always see a lot of these dog trainers using like the pheasant wing and they use that to throw it out there. Do you do that at all or no, not really?
I don't really have to. I got pheasants right out the back door here. We just got to stop.
Yeah, true.
So, I mean, if somebody's training in the backyard, that probably works just fine. And I did do that with my first one, but it really didn't seem to. I even went with another trainer and we buried the pigeons. You know how you tuck the head under the wing and you spin them around. And
Yep.
We did that with his dogs that were trial trained, and they hit everything perfect. Boom, boom, boom. We set it up for mine. He followed my footsteps. He could smell where I walked. Really? Grabbed the bird, crushed it. Went over to the other one, crushed it, left him lay, didn't care. And then he went to hunting after we had let some go, because he let some go and shoot. Mm-hmm. And then he found the ones at the end that were essentially wild again. But setting them up for that trial deal, he's like, well, you guys just walked here and you walked here and they're right here. Why am I doing this? You know? Yeah. He just had it figured out right away.
Yeah. So obviously he's got good genetics for it. I mean, I'm excited here. What are we out from Saturday? We're 5 weeks out from pheasant opener, I think, right? So Marty, go ahead. No, I was just gonna say, Marty, have you ever seen anybody like what kind of coon dogs you got again? Have you ever seen anybody train them to hunt birds at all, or have you tried it?
No, but I've had the same line of dogs for 30 years now. I've had hounds for, I don't know, 30 plus years, but I know you can overdo some of that stuff. I mean, it's like giving a kindergartner too much apples and oranges or whatever, the simple task over and over again. People in the coonhound world, it'd be like dragging a coon hide over and over and over again. You can overdo it. Pretty soon they just need the wild coon.
Yep.
They need the woods. And that's the same with, I see Wyatt all the time with this dog right here, with all of his dogs, because I remember them all. We live a quarter mile away. Yep. And he's making a circle 2 or 3 times a day, and that dog's getting more training. And I believe a dog should hunt for me instead of themselves. And when that dog is when he figures out he makes me happy by tree and raccoon or bear or mountain lion or whatever I'm chasing, when he figures out that makes me happy, he's 10 times the dog that just does it for himself and maybe doesn't feel like hunting that day.
Yeah.
That's what it takes.
I mean, almost no different than a person who does a lot of things for other people and helps them out, including themselves. But yeah, that's a good analogy right there. I like that. So I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna do our first break here, and when we come back, we're gonna talk a little. I got some questions for you about some more gear stuff, Wyatt, about training dogs, and what you use, and then we're gonna get into some other things about when they're hunting. So, and I do believe Clayton said he's got this the tin can out of here, so we're gonna see what his handiwork did right here. Let's see.
So. I'm gonna have to go outside and wait for commercial.
Yeah, plug your ears. All right, hang on. We'll be back shortly here.
Lauer Auto Repair. They're located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota, or give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can tackle any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with the Pro Second Amendment America First Repair Shop. There's plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area, but why take the chance of patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake, Lauer Auto is your Pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them you heard they're a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our Pro Second Amendment, Pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308, located at 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota.
Right on, and thanks again, big time to our main sponsor there, Lauer Auto Repair. And make sure if you go in there and patronize Lauer Auto Repair, you tell them you heard it on Guns and the 701, and you're more than happy to do business with a business that's supporting your Second Amendment rights and your freedoms, which Doug and the boys down at Lauer Auto Repair do. So, all right, here we're back with the blind guy, our other sponsor, blind guy in North Dakota, Mr. Wyatt Franzen. And special guest host Marty Beard as well. Marty's on there. We having a good time here talking about some pheasant hunting. So Wyatt, you said you don't really use the wing thing, then you cast it out there. I mean, is there any other like special things you use to train your birds or train your bird dog other than just going out there and walking them around and getting them used to the outdoors and
what I did with the dead duck he found and the turkey he brought back, and the other stuff, I would take it away and I'd walk a little ways and then I'd just chuck it off in the ditch again and let him go find it. And then he'd bring it back to me and I'd, good boy. And then I'd just beat the hell out of the bird till I got it to the dumpster.
I was going to say, no, when you're house training a dog, hey, they pee or poop in your house, you go over there and rub their beak in it, old Ike Clanton said, you rub your beak in it, you get some damn respect around here. Mm-hmm. It's so I didn't know if you took the duck or whatever, this is a no-no or something,
No, I just, whatever he brings back, whether it's been a gopher, whatever, he'd bring it, good boy, damn it, but.
Yeah. Well, whatever you're doing there is working, I can tell you that. Yeah. So kind of a, not controversial with people like on here, but a lot of people, which we were talking about, they used to be called shock collars, and now they're called e-collars. I mean, do you incorporate that at all into your training of your dog?
Yeah, definitely. It's such a great tool to have. Mm-hmm. You can scream and yell at your dog, and he runs off, and he finally comes back, and when he gets back to you, he gets a beating. Well, I don't know. I was a kid one time too. When I got back and I knew I got a beating, I'm just going to stay out longer.
Right.
Not that you didn't deserve it, but the dog don't understand. Hey, I came back and you whooped my ass. I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah. Yeah. So how? I'm just curious. How much of a shock does it give them? Does it freeze them up like that, or do they yelp sometimes? I mean, because you think right away you'd have to let them feel a little.
Yeah. And they've got so many levels on there, and
because you can get hit on the rear end, and you can get a boot in your ass, and they have a different meaning.
Well, the difference between the boot in the ass or a stimulation, they call it nowadays.
Yes, that's what I've been reading about.
The stimulation goes away because I've made him yelp when he's at the wrong spot.
Yep.
And he may shake his head a little bit and come running back happy as a lark. Now, if I kick him in the ass and his tail's tucked for 2 hours because he hurts and he may be limping, that's not good.
Right.
And that lasts for days. And maybe he wasn't even in the wrong. But if I can get him when he's 200 yards away screwing around in the neighbor's yard, and he's like, what the hell? Mm-hmm. I better get my ass home. I don't even know why that happened.
So I know I read on some of them, they don't even always shock them. Some of them have like a vibrate mode, and that's even enough to make them realize they got to get the rear end back.
This one here is one of my old ones. It runs 2 collars. It has a vibrate and tone. Vibrates and tones at the same time.
I've seen it hanging out of your hunting vest.
Yeah.
Nice, so.
Yeah. What I do like about the vibrate and tone, especially if you're going to run an old bird dogs and dogs in general lose their hearing when they get older. Mm-hmm. So it's nice for the vibrate. They'll always have feeling.
They make silencers for shotguns, right?
Yeah, they probably.
I'm just kidding. Go
what?
on.
That's why he's on my left side. I can't hear out of his side.
Yeah. The little tin cup in there.
Yeah. But this is one of my older collars here. This Tritronics, they were great. This one only vibrated and toned, but so easy and nice to work. I mean, this is still working. This is originally with fuzz. That's all.
Really? So
and it's still original battery, everything.
Wow, that's some.
Yeah.
What was the name of that one? Because that's a quality made product there. Then.
Tritronics, but Garmin bought them out. But if you look at a Tritronics, it looks just like
it. Okay, just rename.
Yeah.
Okay, which why not? If it lasts good and works.
Well, obviously, it was good because Garmin don't screw around.
Yeah. Hold that up to me again once. I want to see. Put that up by your camera. I want to see what that, because I see these Garmin ones here. I got.
It looks.
Well, they don't sponsor me, but Shields, me and Clay. Okay.
We'd accept their sponsorship.
I see there. I'm just trying to see if because they do have some on sale. There's a couple Garmin's here.
Yeah, and they look very similar. Got the same rounded deal for the.
So this one doesn't look like this is a package. It's called the Pro Sport Bundle for $250. And yeah, this other one doesn't. This is a different model too. They don't have your Garmin on sale.
Yeah.
They got these other ones. So what did you pay for that one, Wyatt, when it was new?
This one here was probably $400.
Really? Back. Oh crap. Okay, wow. This whole bundle here, like the Pimp Daddy. Well, I take it back. The Garmin Alpha bundle here is
yeah
11. Yeah, we got to factor in Joe's inflation too. But they got some cheaper ones down there too, 108. So what do you think is the difference other than probably, I mean, in my mind, like range would be on these cheaper ones compared to that?
Yeah, that's basically it.
Okay.
And function.
Because I see the collar on this one looks like the one you got there on Deuce. It's got that long, like whippy antenna thing on it.
That's my newest one I got.
Does that got a GPS on it too? Because this looks like it's got a little GPS screen. Okay.
Yeah, this one, I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at right here. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the one I just bought. Now this one, Joe's price hike. $12.50.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? I mean, if you can afford it and that's your passion, why not? I mean, go ahead and do it. I mean, some people complain about it, but no, if that's what you're into and that's what you're, big part of your life.
It's actually telling me Deuce is right over there to my left. My right.
Yeah, I can see the arrow moving for sure. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And it's supposedly up to 9 miles.
Yeah, that's what it said on here. I was reading it. Yeah.
I mean, I would say maybe 3 is probably going to be.
I mean, that's probably like range finders when they tell you it'll bounce off a deer at 1,400 and it'll probably do it at 1,000. But whatever, it's still pretty dang good.
It's line of sight.
Yeah.
So if you're in an airplane, I know from going in the mountains that distance is reduced a lot. When I'm down in Nevada or Montana hunting, you got to still keep up to them dogs, and they'll go over a ridge somewhere and then you'll get them. And the good thing about these, mine is a Garmin, mine's an Alpha 100, and I think yours is the 300. The new one. They will keep the last direction known. So, I mean, I've had my dogs, 15 miles away hunting, and it kept the last known direction. Now, is it good? That's not accurate, but that's where they were the last time I picked them up.
Yeah.
So I can go that spot and then hopefully get them or cut across them again.
I got a text here. Somebody, Marty, said they'd love to see a live test that thing on Marty.
He's got to be wet first.
I'm dry.
Yeah. Dry right
So if you put it on Marty and grab Wyatt, does it just like electricity translate into him and you can laugh at him and you're wearing the collar?
I don't know. I do know one guy that had one of my old ones in his hand. Jarris, and we were sitting in the break room when I first got it, and it was the cheaper one that I bought. And he's like, "I can hang on to that," and I said, "All right, fine." And I cranked it up and I hit it, and his arm flew right across the room real fast. So they got, it's not, but dogs.
Well, you got your sensitivity levels.
Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, it goes. I know this one here's got 2 different styles. It's got continuous and momentary, and then there's 12 or 15 settings in each one, and there's a high and low in each setting. I mean, it's way
It's There's too much stuff in there.
Yeah.
Actually.
I was gonna say that almost sounds like it's getting to be quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got another comment here. I'm gonna get a few comments because somebody else. I don't know, Marty. They're seeing if you want to do
I
it.
bet they are. I've done enough stupid stuff in my life. I don't have to do anymore.
Yeah, well, the guy's asking you. I think I'd maybe like to see you try it on them once and see what happens.
Yeah.
But so we got Waylon Turnus goes back here. He said he's got a silver lab side by side 410, fun to hunt with it. Brian Warner said, "Damn, Clay fixed up right up." He did, Brian. That sounds good. That was great work, Clay. You did damn good. Paula says, "Great show, A+ guest. I could not agree more." Eric Newman tried a shock collar on me first, and I had a hard time getting past number 9, and it went to 50.
Oh yeah, I can believe that.
Lynette says, "Yes, Doug has a Garmin with GPS. 10 years old, works perfect, and can control multiple dogs."
Yeah.
And the last guy here, Marty, you know him well. He said, "Good trial." Marty is always, I don't know what he did the last one. There's something, but I think he wants you to try it on yourself. But I think Marty's out on that, which I don't blame him for. I think he's proven his tough guy bona fides over the years. He doesn't have to throw that.
Oh, what the hell? We'll do it.
We gotta get him on.
Get that damn thing on.
I gotta get him chasing something I don't want him to.
But tell you what, we do the long break coming up, then you can throw it on him if he's still game.
How tough you are, boy.
Get up. All right, so
See if I can get him to pour water and get shocked at the same time.
I mean, does water actually make him work more? Because a dog runs into water with him on in the field,
my dogs
right?
are in water all the time. You don't. It's
Yeah.
in contact between the 2 points.
Yeah, it's not.
The thing is, Marty, I've seen you get into water chasing raccoons too, so he's right in there with the dogs. So before we get into shotguns, I just got a few other, like some gadget things I'd like to ask you about. Why I know I see here in the Shields thing they got what do you call the vest thing the dogs wear? I'm pretty sure I've seen your dogs wearing those.
You know what I do? Usually, I don't use them. I do, like probably this year we'll see how his hair holds up. I do little kids spandex T-shirts, the little baseball shirts,
Mm-hmm.
and I slide them on. They can stretch. Still guards them enough to keep the brush from tearing at their hide once they get it opened up.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, I slice it off, and the next day I put another one on. I've tried the vests, but they really don't. They kind of walk around like you put.
Like it bother them, it would seem
Yeah,
like, 'cause
it's
they're
like-
not used to wearing clothes. Like they're always trying to, like, you put something on a cat too, and they're like, hey.
Yeah, they walk around like they stepped in shit or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. But that's, other than that, I mean, is there anything else you'd add in there, Wyatt, about training your dogs?
Nothing on training. I would say one thing to pack with you guys.
Okay.
If you ever run into this, your dog runs into a snare. If you can get there in time.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I didn't even.
Yeah. Well, on snares, because you're going to run into them. I run into them with my hounds. I would suggest tying your dogs up away from you, and so that they learn to that they can be away. And I've had my hounds in snares when I was out in the Badlands before, and I come along this bluff when we were chasing a bobcat, and all 3 of my dogs were in snares, and they were just sitting there waiting for me. Now, if my dogs weren't tied up away from me and knew that I'd be coming, they might have fought it,
So a snare, if maybe people don't know, and I'll ask you, it doesn't start doing its thing until they pull back, right?
It gets tighter and
It's
tighter.
the more they pull. Now, there are such a thing called the ram snare, and that I would explain if anybody's familiar with the 330 conibear. It's like a great big spring that goes together. When the coyote goes through, he trips that, and it instantly tightens. There's no dog getting out of one of them.
So on its neck, or it gets its whole body?
Well, you set them up to get a coyote on their neck.
Okay.
But, and the dog, they're a little bit bigger than your average coyote, especially him. So he might brush through a lot of them. but my hounds being smaller, they'll go right into them. And I've like I said, I come around that bluff and thinking that they either in a hole with that bobcat or something, and there they are, all there with a snare on their neck.
Yeah.
You know.
So you're saying pretty much train them to, if they get in there, to chill out and not.
Not fight being tied away. When they're away from you, don't fight it. Just wait for me to come back.
Yeah, because if you got 3 dogs and they're all 3 in there, I mean, and if they all 3 would have fought, you maybe would have got one, right? And the other ones would have probably been. Yeah, that's good advice right there. So, so follow up on one of these comments here. Randy said you were sweeting, and he said he needs kraut.
I need kraut.
So
don't
Randy,
worry, I'm getting your kraut, Randy. I'm working on it.
If anybody, Marty's making a bunch of homemade sauerkraut, and we had some of his them pickled like Jack Link's things you made. Man, them suckers are good. We were shooting prairie dogs. I think we polished off the jar of those.
I think you were just hungry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like those. I'm just glad you didn't put them hot ones in there so we weren't all shooting flames later. I did appreciate that. Yeah. Randy says, how about the sporting dog collars? What range they have?
Now this one here, my older Tritronics, I would say a mile. You know.
Okay, I was gonna say so. Like when he's saying sporting dog collars, that'd be like the lower end ones of 200, 300, something like that.
Yeah, and they'll all give you ranges. You know, obviously the price goes up with more range.
Okay.
You know?
Yep.
And I know my wife had some for her dogs way back when, and they were the cheap ones that didn't have much range, and they learned to run off and get out of range. So I was over there and put my collar on them and let them go.
It's almost like having crappy old walkie-talkies back in the day that wouldn't go very far. And
yeah. And then
this is my old school. First of all, when I first got hounds, I didn't have anything. So you basically drove around, and I'll tell you what, you wouldn't do that now with the gas prices. But
no, I'm laughing, but you're right.
Until you heard them. And if you hunted much, you were looking for your dogs a lot. I saved up, and believe me, when I bought this, I was poorer than a church mouse. And if my wife knew how much I've spent on dog stuff, I mean, I have 10 collars like Wyatt's got, so I can run 10 hounds. But this here was the first one. Basically, you were going like this, trying to keep track of where your dogs were.
So for anybody who's going to listen on the podcast, it looks like an old antenna from when we grew up in the 80s on top of your house or your trailer.
One of those hydrometers.
Yeah.
No radiation here.
Yeah. Yeah, it does make sense. So the closer you get, Marty, when you get it in the general direction, it start beeping a little quicker. Then almost like a.
Yeah, you turn your gain and your volume down, and your tune. This one I can track 10 collars with, or could, but now with the Garmin, I mean these I think I can track 100.
I don't know. Yeah. Oh, and then you can go in groups.
Yeah, it's crazy what they can do now.
Yeah.
But I saved up. I was.
So how much was that thing when you bought it there?
When I bought this was $495, and that might have been 10,000 when I bought it. I didn't have it.
No.
And what year was that? You just taking a guess, or do you know exactly?
When I bought it in the early 90s.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's a lot of money back then, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean $400 even now is still pretty good.
That was a lot of horses to shoe. I mean, that took a lot of horses.
Yeah.
And then each collar was them collars back then. I think they were $100 a piece. Now my new collars, I think they're what 300.
I don't know. I bought the controller and one collar was $1,250. And once I woke up and they drugged me to the counter to pay for it.
When somebody's behind you putting foot to ass, you need this. Waylon's taking off. He said Waylon said he's got to go. He's heading to a pool meeting. Thanks for tuning in, Waylon. Appreciate you. Go ahead, Marty. I'm sorry.
as far as my wife on knowing what I spend, what she don't know don't hurt her.
Yeah, what's that meme you see all the time? My worst fear is you die and your wife sells all your guns for what you told her they cost or whatever it was.
Yeah.
The guns ain't so bad. It's the suppressors that'll make me a whole, the whole different story. But yeah. So let's why you said you were didn't you say you got so Wyatt's got actually some hunting chaps you were gonna show us here, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
some of my these Filson chaps.
yep. Yeah. So anybody doesn't know what Filson is, why I kind of tell people what Filson kind of says there. And I'm not making bad about Filson.
No.
My point is this guy's a hunting machine. I'm going to show you how his stuff's wore out here.
I mean, this is just one of the, of many pairs that I got here that just completely.
So how long that one you got the hole in it, Wyatt? How long did you use that one? You think how many hunting
probably
seasons?
2 years.
You went through those in 2 years.
Yeah,
huh?
and the first pair I didn't put the leather on the bottom, and it went quicker. So yeah, and then I got smart and went with the zippers on the bottom. This is the bottom of the leg.
Yeah.
But there again.
So that 1 year when you still had like the old Suburban and you and Tammy, I don't remember if you guys are first married or dating and you guys were hunting all the time. And I actually hunted a lot more pheasant back then too. But how many days did you say you went, or how many birds? I remember you told me it was pretty amazing.
Well, that year we put on 7,000 miles on that old green Suburban. And we had 96 pheasants in our freezer. And, I mean
that's hunger right there. I think I know one guy who might rival that, and I don't even know if he does. That's my buddy Britton Scheller. He's got Rudy Slayer on his license plate. And Britton probably be impressed by that. And I think he listens to the podcast. So Britton, if you hear this, let me know.
This is one of my other vests. I wore the inside. This is the inside of the vest on the bottom of the pocket. I had to have stitched up because it wore through from rubbing on my legs.
Yeah, and so the Filsons are made out of their leather, and then they got like a coating on them of some sort. No,
too, right? They're 100% cotton canvas, correct?
Yeah,
with a paraffin tin cloth. They call it.
Okay.
Marty wears them too, and I like them.
That's all I wear.
Yeah, I like them, but they when I first started getting them, they said
Marty wears them just the chaps, nothing underneath.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the hard part to get used to, especially when you're my height.
So we're the same height.
So Marty, do you burn through them suckers coon hunting too? Because Marty, how many days a week do you coon hunt, Marty? You think
I hunt
average?
5 or 6 nights a week.
Okay, and that's some dedication. That's hunger right there. So, and do you burn through them like that too when you're coon hunting?
Well, I have a lighter weight pair than them, and I'll go through a lightweight pair over the summer. Mine are about wore out now. And that's with constant reapplying that waterproof, because right now, with the heavy dews that we have, even now I'm soaked a lot of times if I have to walk across a bean field or cornfields now with the humidity and the fog, I'll be soaked, so I mean, constantly reapplying the waterproofing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. I mean, in the way how tall the grass is and everything this year too. I mean, you're gonna get soaked. I mean, it's just the way of life. But we got one more question here, quick, Marty, and then we're gonna do our double ad here. One Shot Cap wants to know: do you train your dogs on leg hold traps as well?
No, I don't. I did for a while. The USDA Wildlife Services use coyote getters, and if you're familiar with them, the coyote bites it and it shoots strychnine down their throat.
Okay, I didn't know that. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so back then in the day, USDA would give you dummy charges, and I actually had some of them, and you could use what bait they were, and then if your hound pulled that, you can do certain things. One thing I would recommend is letting your dog get snapped with a 110 conibear. Now, when you go out and you're bird hunting and you'll hunt around a lot of old farmsteads and well, when fur prices is high is when that stuff happens. And fur's low, you don't see many people out there, but it's still a good idea. Take a 110 conibear and put it in a recessed container like they use small wooden boxes I trapped for years and years and years, and let that dog get snapped with that 110 conibear. And because I've had dogs in conibears, and let me tell you, it's scary. And because you're trying to wrestle with this big trap that if you don't know how to get them off, your dog's going to probably die. They're worse than snares. But if you do that with a 110 conibear, your dog is a lot less likely to stick his head in anything and smell the bait, and you can use any kind of a coon bait. Usually, I used to use half of a fish in my conibear boxes. But something that dog recognizes, and when he sticks his head in there, and that 110's not going to hurt him, it's going to snap down on his jaws. Yep. I can guarantee you, if your dog's got any brains at all, he's not going to stick his head in there twice.
Yep, for sure. And so I got one other quick question, 'cause I don't want to forget about it. I know you big trapper, and so like the traps, the conibears, when they come in, do they make those where they'll actually, like, just the ones around here for like coyote traps, do they break the leg off on some of them or not? Because my dad did, and I don't remember the legs ever being broke on them, because that's what people think, like it just smashes the bone on them. And
no,
right. So when you see
you're breaking the leg on an animal, you're using a trap too big for your targeted animal. Sure, if you use a number 4 long spring on a muskrat, you're going to break its leg. Yeah. But that's why it's traps, animal specific.
Sure.
And I've had my dogs in traps, leg hold traps, and I take them out and they run off like nothing's happened.
Yeah. I mean, the reason I asked you is because I wanted you to clear, because, a lot of people think trapping is so inhumane, and it basically holds them there. It doesn't, yeah. Well, if they want to get out, because I've seen many videos, even like where mountain lions are caught and they let them go, and I'm like, well, obviously the foot's okay, it was just pinched. So yeah, I mean, if you think trapping is this big inhumane thing and it's smashing foot bones and leg, it's not like that. So,
well, I would think too, if you smash the leg, then it's just hide left, they would tear that.
Yeah,
off.
they just pull it out and they'd rip it. Yeah,
because otherwise
sure.
it'd be what's the point?
Yeah, I think at some point, maybe this winter, at some point, Marty, have you on and maybe get into some trapping a little more. Like I said, my dad trapped, and I definitely don't consider myself up to speed on trapping. I'm definitely 100% not against it, but I mean, you got a lot of knowledge. I think people should hear about it a little more than us just touching on it here right now. But I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna do our double ad here, okay? And with the blind guy and then Lauer Auto. So. And I might take out, like I said, I've said this before, I got a 52-year-old prostate and I had a couple of Coors Lights. So I think I'm gonna scoot up, and if I ain't back, which I'm pretty sure I will be, you guys can take off on some things, but we'll see you guys back here in a couple minutes.
Lauer Auto Repair. They're located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota, or give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can tackle any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with the Pro Second Amendment America First Repair Shop. There's plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area, but why take the chance of patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake, Lauer Auto is your Pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them you heard they're a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our Pro Second Amendment, Pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308, located at 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota.
Guns and the 701 is sponsored by the Blind Guy of North Dakota. For all your custom window coverings, you can contact them at 701-222-3932. They're freedom-minded, they're patriotic, and they love the Second Amendment. This husband-wife team was born and raised right here in North Dakota and based out of Bismarck. Again, for your Second Amendment company, for all your custom window coverings, the Blind Guy of North Dakota, 701 222-3932 or visit them on the web at blindguynd.com.
You bet. And make sure if you patronize our sponsors, tell them you heard it on Guns in the 701 and you appreciate them supporting a show, a live stream, and a podcast like you're listening to right now here. It's in case you joined us a little late here, we got Mr. Wyatt Franzen on. He actually part owner of the Blind Guy. He and his wife Tammy, lifelong friends of mine, hunted with it for years. Marty Beard on as well. Leonard lifelong known Marty actually longer than man. I was in junior high school actually at Simley, the old school Simley, when I met the Beards, and then been friends with them ever since. So, all right, guys, let's hit a little bit on. I gotta remember. I gotta talk about Gene's gun show here. Gene, I'll tell you what. Let me actually look right now before we go on here. I know Clay's got this. I'm not the guy who uploads all these pictures. That's Clayton's the technical wizard. This is actually the first time I've been the master blaster here. And I'm okay. Here we go. Right here, boys. Right here we got.
There you go.
Here we go. We got the Dakota Territory Gun Collectors Gun Show, and that's going to be September 9th through the 10th at how do you say that? Sheer Howe Event Center, Main Street, Mobridge, South Dakota. They got I'm trying to get this picture bigger. Clay's got that big fancy computer, I still got this little laptop here. And admission $10. And I think you get in a drawing for was it a 22 or a 17? I can't remember that. But the Dakota Territory Gun Collector Show is going to be September 9th and 10th, 2023, Sheer Howe Event Center, Main Street in Mobridge. And make sure you go over there and talk to Gene. He's their main guy now. He's their main advertising guy there, I do believe. And Gene's a good guy. He's always listening to the show. Big Second Amendment guy. I think a veteran. Goes to a lot of shooting competitions. Got a lot of knowledge you can learn something from. So check the gun show out down there. I believe, yeah. So that's coming up this weekend, right? September 9th and 10th. Yeah, so hit it, get on it, man. It's September 6th today. So, all right, guys, let's go into a little shotgun stuff here before we move on.
Before we do that, are we going to do the shock thing?
Oh, you really want to do this? Okay, let's do it. I'm going to go full screen on this, man.
I've always lived by the motto, God hates a coward.
Okay.
Okay, this to be simple. Now, we're not going to go high right away.
This is momentary.
Well, to be fair, okay. Marty, I don't think nobody thought you were coward before this.
I got good contact.
Yeah, this is momentary and one on low.
Wait, do the tone first.
Oh, tone. Can you hear me?
I heard it. There it was. Beep, beep. Yep.
Okay. Oh, now the dog's running in. He's coming up here too. Hey, buddy. Okay. All right. Here we go. Dude, settle down. You're here. No. All right. Here. This is on one.
Yeah, nothing.
That didn't do anything to him.
I felt it.
I know, but you didn't even move. That one winced a little bit. I see. There he jumped. Okay, what were you on there? Why when you jumped?
Yeah, we're gonna go to 3 here.
Okay,
okay.
I can take 3.
You take 3.
Okay.
You want to do 4?
Yeah, don't try this at home, folks.
I'll do 4.
All right.
Do a 4 again.
All right.
Whoa.
His shoulder jumped a little.
No. Don't be freaking. You got 5. I'll take 5.
You take 5. Hang on. Wait. Oops. I'm marking my spot here. Wait. Waypoint marked. Oh shit. I gotta get out of here.
All right. He's waiting for it. He's waiting.
Yeah.
Not even biting down on a piece of leather.
Okay.
There.
We are. Hang on. Let me see where we're at here. Oh, wait, I take that off. Okay, that's 4.
Yeah, he definitely jumped.
4 was pretty ass.
I know, but what 5? Come on.
5. Okay.
We're proving to you guys that it is on 5.
All right. Yep. There it is.
That one went down my spine.
Yep. He's on 5.
One more at 5?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
All right. He wants another one. I think he's enjoying this.
There. Okay. See, them things that's not that bad. When you can get control of your dogs, like Wyatt said. Now, when you're training hounds and they're running deer, I go right as high as I can go because that's a no-no.
Right.
And the old way of breaking dogs off deer was running them down. You're out of breath if you can catch them. They don't know
Yeah.
what they did, and then you're beating on them.
Yep.
It's a lose-lose situation. First of all, you might die of a heart attack.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Wyatt and I said that
Yeah.
yesterday. What would be worse? So what would be worse, getting a little shock or getting a boot in the rear end? And we both agreed. I think a shock would be better than getting a Tony Lama in the rear end or right in between the cheeks. I think so. So we got some comments here. We'll get to Marty. Appreciate you doing that. If you're listening on the podcast, he took it pretty good. He winced and jumped, but I mean, on number 5, I think most people might have had their arms flailing up in the air, but Marty's a tough guy. He took it good. So Lynette says, so you would think a landowner would tell you before you hunt that he has traps out there. That's true too, Lynette. And we got my mom says, don't try this at home. Gene said it's going to be epic. Brian, this is going as the live gopher hunt. This is as good as a live gopher hunt. Yeah.
That was hard to top, but
This is actually, I laughed a lot harder at this than the live gopher. Randy wanted to go high first, and then don't worry about the other ones.
Yeah.
One shot cap. Marty is the man. I think he just proved it right there that he is. So that was pretty good. I think I've seen some other videos, but they probably had it on 1, and these soy boys are screaming. Marty had it on 5 and winced a little, and he took it. So Paula said, now I know why Marty's wife is so nice.
How do you think I trained her to do the dishes?
He probably put it on his tongue on 3.
exactly.
Oh man. All right. So Wyatt,
Yeah.
what do you, Wyatt shoots kind of what I would say is kind of an oddity, but I think it's kind of gaining more popularity for hunting pheasants and upland game. Most people use a 12 or a 20. And on here we had a bunch of guys saying 410 and 116. What tell everybody what you use, Wyatt, for your shotgun.
This camera, 28 gauge.
So it looks like a 410. What would the difference be between that and a 410?
Here is a 410.
Okay, 410 actually. I mean, to me, it looks like it's more power.
Well, you can look at this camera's backwards. You look
So
at
the circumference. Oh yeah, definitely bigger. Yeah, more circumference. See, it's the girth that matters, not the length.
Yeah, and here's the girth on a 12 gauge.
Yeah, for sure. So what made you go to the 28 gauge?
I always shot at 20, and then my good friend Bill Beard was over there helping him, and we were shooting pigeons out of his barn, and we were loading some stuff up, and he went to pull the trailer ahead, and my gun was stuck at the fender and snapped the stock off on my 20 gauge.
Bill?
I know.
No.
I know. I was as surprised as you guys are.
I bet he felt bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
An old 16 gauge. But, before he lost it. But anyway, so when I was shopping for another 20 gauge, I saw this 28, and I'm like, you know what? It's not that much smaller.
Yep.
Something different. And these are my dad's reloads, and he's got
Good job, Richard.
Yeah, he's got some Stutz in these. It's all 5-shot. That's all I shoot all year. I used to do 4s and, start out with 6s and go to 4s by the end of the season. Then I just went to these 5s. So I found I was mixing up shells, and after a while, the numbers rub off. You don't know what the hell you got.
Mm-hmm.
So I just eliminated all that.
As I was going to say, I remember Dave, Nerp just joined us. Hey, howdy, gents. Howdy, Dave. Thanks for joining us late. Gene Cox, he's got to go on his walk. Gene, thanks for catching the show, buddy. He's going to catch the rest on the podcast. Appreciate you. But, Wyatt, I remember we were hunting up at my dad's place there, and you were having trouble with some of them coming out of it when you break it open to pop them out, and they were kind of getting stuck in there. I mean, I don't remember what was the deal with that. I don't think that was just some reload issue, right? It wasn't.
Yeah, my dad didn't know quite how he was crimping them a little too tough.
Okay.
They wouldn't load. They would come out, but they wouldn't load.
And it's not that RF doesn't know about reloading. He taught me, and all my reloads were great. So.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, the 28 gauges, and I've seen Wyatt make some awesome shots, and he's probably one of the most consistent bird shooters I've seen. So, I think that 28 gauge is. What's the recoil compared to a 410? You think, Wyatt? Same, little less, little more?
I would say it's a little, well, with these shells, it's a little more because,
Okay.
but if you went to the store and bought the $30 box, because that's what they are.
Is that what they go? Okay. That was the
I
one
would
thing I
think
was going to
they're around
ask you
that,
too.
but yeah, I don't know if they got it in that flyer or not. But
Well,
they are more spinny just because they're odd.
yeah. Well, I can
but
tell you, I'm looking right now, and what I'm seeing, boy, I think all of these are going to be the 12 gauge Fiochis I'm seeing here. You know, obviously that's the most popular one, so they're going to be the least. $3 off a box. Pheasant Max is $15.99. So, you know, you get $3 off of that. And what are these Kents? 12. Yeah, they're all 12.
Yeah.
So,
you go to the store and bend over, you know.
yeah. I don't know. Even 410s now are
Oh, they're ridiculous because no one shoots. I mean, 12 and 20 is the most common, and a 20.
I mean, to find them even is hard, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know I seen a guy follow from Zap. I can't think Furred Up Firearms, I think. He had a bunch in, and he put them on that he had them for sale, and them suckers were gone almost immediately. So, you know.
Yeah, honestly, the 410's nice as far as the recoil, but it's almost like a 20. I think the 410, I think it's discouraging for a kid. I mean, I got a double barrel 410, and I bought one after I'd been shooting whatever, just to see if I could do it, because it is a lot less. And for a kid learning how to shoot, yes, the recoil isn't there, but God, the disappointment of missing every damn time.
Yeah, and I remember one time, I can't remember if you forgot yours or not. You used my dad's, was it a double barrel, right? But a double barrel 12 gauge.
Yeah,
and Wyatt he was reaching out pretty far. He was kind of grinning like, "Damn, I'm not used to this. This is almost cheating."
Yeah, I'm used to it. I mean, that 12 gauge. I just said that for me, I think upland 12 gauge is just so much overkill.
It does wreck a lot of meat for sure.
Yeah, unless you're losing like a trap load, but these guys go down and buy Prairie Storm pheasant 4-shot?
Yeah, that's what I was saying here. They had, and you know, so like, did you ever run that 28 gauge over a chronograph, and or did RF tell you that he did, and what the velocity was on those?
No, he just kind of went by the recipe, had me shoot it a few times. I said, "That's it."
Okay, so I'm just going to tell you right now, these these Fiochi Pheasant Max. There's Pheasant Max and Max Plus. The Max are going 1330, and to me that is freaking smoking for a shotgun. The Pheasant Max Plus is 1485. Okay, you got this up. Well, that doesn't say it on there. See, I'm used to shooting. Like I would shoot Remington or Winchester, and they were probably, I don't know, 1150 or 1200 maybe, I think. And I thought that was pretty hot. Even my dad always shot the low brass stuff when he had his. But
well, can we chrono these through your deal?
Yeah, let's do that. Actually, yeah, I got a chrono, and Axel's got a chrono too. But
50 yards.
yeah, 50. Yeah, let's try it at 50. Just aim high.
So I think I got a box of factories, and I'd like to see what.
I'm because I know
that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Was that what we shot at the gong there at 30 that time? We got that big gong out at the range.
Oh yeah.
And was that just hunting shot in there?
That's all I got is hunting rounds.
Because I got to tell you, when Wyatt did that, I wasn't expecting much. And at 30 yards, man, if that was a person there, that thing absolutely just wailed on that. The whole thing, I spray painted it all perfect, and he shot, and it looked like a gravel truck went by and hit it with everything. That was pretty impressive, actually.
That's why I said Dad has pushed these things to the limit. So
yeah,
I don't know how long my gun's gonna last with these things, but I really don't care. I'm gonna get another one.
Yeah, well, it gives you excuse to buy another one. Yeah, because use that other one at home defense. It's a home defense shotgun.
Yeah.
Because we did try that. Remember the pumpkin? We did shoot a pumpkin at I think it was about 5-10 yards, and it pretty much vaporized the sucker.
Yeah, it was gone.
Yeah. So let's get a few comments here. We had Gene. Eric says he shoots the 20 gauge Remington 870. I'm kind of liking the 16 gauge bolt action. Yeah, I think bolt action shotguns are freaking cool, man.
Yeah.
I've shot some and seen them. They're pretty cool. Lynette says, once your dog is trained, you never have to buzz them. We have only had to buzz our dogs once for Gemma, maybe 2 times for Axel in his young stubborn years. Now, I don't really remember you buzzing Ace that often. Why? I mean, it was pretty rare.
But this guy.
Yeah, he poor soul. He's just too high strung.
Yeah, I mean, it's a daily occurrence because he just.
Yeah. Well, Randy said he had to go. Catch you guys later. Love the show. Thank you, Randy. Matter of fact, I'm doing my show right here. Got a table from Randy. Appreciate that. Gave me the bro deal on it. It's a great table. TJ says, first thing Bill ever wrecked. Referring to your shotgun, of course. That's just why we're all laughing, because that's definitely...
Oh, I got a list.
Still ain't been fixed.
Hey, wait. Now, he usually wrecks his own stuff. Then he moves on to
Well,
friends
his
and brothers.
shit's all broke. Yeah.
Oh, that's some good comedy right there. I'm not gonna lie to you. So Wyatt, what kind of choke do you run in the 28 gauge then?
I run 2 modified, and I run them the same because I don't have my crap together good enough to have my trigger selector and da-da-da-da.
Mm-hmm.
And I figure if a bird gets up and I miss the first one, it's pull.
So you haven't changed anything from what we shot at 30 yards there?
Yeah.
I want to say that gong is like 2 feet wide by 3 inches tall. And I'm telling you, it absolutely freaking waylaid that. There's no way a bird was there. It was getting away. And I know it was 30 yards because we shot that at many times. So whatever you got going there is pretty sweet. Whatever that choke is in there.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know how far out of whack these shells are as far as.
Yeah. So next time we're out, let's chrono it. And then let's actually, because they're saying, when I was reading this article and I sent you, like 40 yards is where they want it patterned at, oh God, I'm going to look at my picture here. What the 40 yards, they say you're supposed to have a 40-inch spread at 40 yards, which I don't know. From looking at that, man, we're probably going to be right about that at 40, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, we're going to do it. We're going to do it for sure. So
yeah, I got some factories, and I got factory 410s and I think Dad's got reloads there that he made me.
So in the comments here, we got Dave from 1760 Sports up there in Mandan. Said he's looking at a 28 gauge available. The supply is back. So if you got a 28 gauge and you're looking for some rounds, check him out.
I highly recommend them. I mean, it's a little bit more of a challenge than the 12. Doesn't wreck your meat because clean birds with a 12 gauge. There's that wad of feathers pushed all the way into the inside. Oh,
unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, the most damage I've ever seen, Marty, years ago, Marty's youngest brother, Casey, actually came up hunting, and he had I don't know if it was a wingmaster or whatever, but man, this pheasant got up in front of us about 50. It actually, honestly, just vaporized the entire breast off of the thing. We were both kind of like, ooh, like I don't know if it was just a freak thing or not, but yeah. And I've seen your birds, Wyatt, and
a slug.
Yeah.
Whoa, crap. And a Magnum yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tammy makes pheasant for us every year when we're up hunting, and Fry Daddy there, and it's awesome. That's the best pheasant ever, actually. But yeah, there's never run into any BBs, and it's not that beat up. And I've seen you clean your birds out, open them up after you've shot them. And the 28 gauge is definitely awesome for that.
And I'll thump them close or a long ways off, and it doesn't really seem to. It just doesn't have that. Granted, I wouldn't want to hunt duck with.
Well, I mean, the close ones I've seen, the head just vaporizes on them. So
yeah, once through the eye, I save everything.
Yeah. Hell, he died all day. Oh, right through the eye again.
Yeah. That's how I usually do that.
Right where I was aiming, boys. I'll guarantee you.
Yeah.
Held off his beak a ways, and I knew that one BB there, it always goes low and left, so I kind of figured that in there 20 yards.
Exactly. Well, I usually file one BB and put that one in each.
That's the oddball. Yeah, that goes low and left on you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that hollow point BB I put in.
Yeah, so we were actually going to get into some choke talk here, but I don't know. I think we're going to skip that. It actually seems kind of one thing I do want to make. They said in this article that the modified choke makes for an all-around good choke that meets many applications for it's a good choice for big party pheasant hunts. When where you can shoot, or your shots can be longer than the one, so you get over your dog. Man, I did go on one of those once. I don't know how many times you guys have ever done that, but I think hunting behind just like 3 or 4 people behind a dog or whatever, a small amount, was way funner than that. Not that I didn't have fun. Don't get me wrong, but that, you get the big horseshoe going over a whole quarter of land, and you just, that's maybe that's for a lot of people. For me, I mean, the thing of it is, you do get a lot of shots in, right? Because you got guys in there who don't hunt and they suck, and you're just like, oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna shoot, Yeah, but Game and Fish didn't hear that, I guess, did they? But sorry, Jib, just kidding, buddy. But I think going behind a dog and watching, when I was younger, the thrill of the kill was a big thing too. I mean, obviously you like to eat them too, but the older you get, the more you're way more appreciative of watching the dog work and just hanging out with your buddies and talking and not worried about shooting everything. So
I just love to watch the dogs work, especially when it all comes together and they actually start, and I'm a year or 2 away from that.
Yeah.
This year is going to be probably a complete show for us.
We'll see.
There'll be some good times, but it's not going to be just
right away. It might be.
We'll see.
That's part of anything. You got to learn something. You're gonna have the setbacks and ups and downs, and
yeah, exactly.
I actually like dogs better than people. I'm just gonna say that.
Dogs are definitely better than most people. That's for
and they're cheaper to go to the bar with too, because you only got to buy one drink.
Yeah. You can put them right up on the bar and drink out of the water.
Yeah. Exactly.
What was that?
Oh, Marty.
UFO.
Oh, they're real. Okay, we did find them finally.
Hey, I was going to show you one piece of
yeah, go for it, bud.
Stuff I pack with. Being I'm pretty short in the crotch. This thing here. You put it on.
Okay, what is that actually?
You put it on the T-post and you step on the wire. You step over the top and off the other side. So
hey man, I know somebody who listens to the show on the podcast occasionally who needs that. I think you know who I'm talking about. Initials JH.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him one for Christmas, and I'm gonna send it early.
I was gonna say, get him an early one.
I'll get it for maybe Halloween or something.
Yeah. I've never seen a guy who ran college track that struggled more across some barbed wire fences, but that's and then no joke though, that is pretty awesome actually. I'm 6 feet tall, but they hook the middle of your pants and rip your crotch out and it pisses you off. So that thing looks really light. Is it plastic?
It is. It's aluminum. It's aluminum.
Okay. Even better. Metal. Oh.
Yeah.
Mind that.
Yeah. Some poor little kid in Africa.
Yeah. That's diamonds. We just do that over.
And lithium.
Remember, Clay gets a sweatshop going for stuff like that in his basement.
Exactly. But for somebody as low crotched as I am, it's nice. And then you don't have to be stretched. Even the tall guys, they go to that top wire, push it all the way down, and stretch the fence out.
Yeah.
And when you're in hot pursuit, you're not. It's probably not the thing, but when you're just crossing fences.
Yeah. Because I mean, you get a nice pair of hunting pants. I was looking in here in the Shields thing, just
Yeah.
I mean, the cheapest ones seem like they're like $100. If they're water, not even which one is resistant is where they actually can't get wet. Waterproof is where they just kind of shed them.
Yeah.
And I mean not even that. I mean $100, and then you rip the crotch out, and then I'm lucky I got somebody close to me who does it out of their house. But no point in ripping your pants. And I'm certainly not too proud to use something like that. I'm tall enough to crawl over this son of a, and that's about the time you get it ripped out. So.
Yeah. Well, I got.
And how much was that? How much was that thing?
Well, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. It's.
You know the price of stuff. You just make too much money. You just buy it.
Yeah. Close my eyes.
There's only one. He had it specially made for himself.
Yeah. I thought I had 2, but.
They smashed the mold and they were done with that one.
Tammy has to crawl under the fences and he goes over them.
Yeah, that's why he calls her antelope.
Yeah. Little pronghorn.
Little pronghorn. She's pronghorn, boys, I'll tell you.
And he was pronghorn.
Prong.
Inside joke there, but okay. All right. Oh man, I'll tell you what. So, all right, you guys got anything more to add here? We're going to move on to. We got a couple Second Amendment bullet points here.
I do want to add one thing that I was just at the Cody, Wyoming. The gun.
Yeah, I was gonna use that for a two-way bullet points here.
Okay.
Why it was.
Okay. We can do that.
All right, so I'm
just
going
don't
to
want
read
to
just a
forget it.
couple comments here, and then we'll hit it. Why? Lynette says, just going out for my walk every morning and watching them work for fun is the best.
Absolutely.
Yep, absolutely. And one shot cap. Most hunting dogs are smarter than Joe Biden. I would say probably all hunting dogs
yeah.
actually are.
Yeah. There ain't. Yeah.
Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
So what Wyatt was talking about here, we're going to do our two-way bullet points here. The Firearms Museum, the Cody Firearms Museum, they went riding four-wheelers down there, right, Wyatt? And your razors spitting your fumes into the air and polluting everything.
Yeah. Contaminating the whole, all the way down at 7 miles a gallon.
Yeah, and then Wyatt's Ranger has the Jet Punisher on the side of it. So he'll give you a little more insight here. I'll just give you the overall, because I actually remember Trent Luce was on. I think it was when Daryl was right on. He was in Wyoming, and I asked him if he was in Cody, and I asked him if he was there, and he said, no, I'd like to see it. And you mentioned that to me that you were there, and I said, and Wyatt was there, but he'll give you a little more insight after this. But the Cody Firearms Museum, they say houses the most, this is from their website, houses the most comprehensive collection of American firearms in the world. In 1975, the Winchester Firearms Collection, the heart of this museum, adventured west as a loan from the Olin Corporation. It was deeded as a gift in 1988, and to date, the Cody Firearms Museum has over 7,000 firearms with more than 30,000 firearms-related artifacts. And they got Winchester-made guns. Winchester-made guns are not the only manufacturer you'll see here, which Wyatt will tell you shortly, though virtually every significant manufacturer in the world is represented. And they got, of course, you can go through their records here, which I think Wyatt was telling me about last night as well, for individual firearms from Winchester, Marlin, L.C. Smith, Ithaca, Savage, and, you can check everything out on a history of whatever gun you're looking for here, Wyatt. So, I mean, how big of a place was this actually, Wyatt?
It was massive.
So like the Civic Center big or the events?
Basically the Civic Center, but not upper levels.
Okay. Okay.
Well, they did have it upstairs and a downstairs, but the footprint, was about the size of the Civic Center.
I mean, is it one big area with just guns everywhere? Or do they got separate rooms?
They got separate stuff, and then they got an area that's they got the prehistoric stuff. Then they got a bunch of the Wild Bill Hickok and all those the show people back in the day. They got a whole bunch of their stuff. Then they got a whole bunch of stagecoaches and stuff from the Pony Express deal, and then the gun collection. The gun collection there, when you buy your ticket, it's $23.
Because it's actually called the Buffalo Bill Center of the West, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, go ahead.
But you can't miss it. It's right on the main drag, and you think it's a college, but it's a museum.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, and
so you're saying if a leftist drives through Cody and sees it and realizes it's full of guns, it's probably just gonna self-ignite right there.
Oh Lord. Oh. But if you do go planned, the tickets, when you buy them, it's $23. Go ahead. It's good for 3 days, I believe. And you will need at least 2 days to take it all in. I mean, because after a while, we were there for 6 hours. We only had 1 day to go. And
I would say for that price, for 3 days in the Joe Biden and Bidenomics economy, that's a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah, and there's so much stuff. I found guns I've got, and just there's so much stuff there that and it's got a bunch of the I don't want to go into too many details because I want people just to go and see it.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
But they got a huge amount of prototypes, the stuff that people were trying to come up with, and then a big deal on the air guns back in the day. They had
Lewis and Clark actually had one.
Yeah, and the pneumatic and old stuff, pneumatic CO2 and spring air guns. That was all in the basement, but you name it, it's in there. It's
awesome,
phenomenal thing to go see.
So what do you think? I know you said you didn't see it all, but what do you think was probably the most interesting or the coolest firearm you saw in there?
It was called a duckbill. and I don't know how it worked, and maybe it was just a prototype because I was reading so much crap, but it had 5 barrels on it, and it shot out, and it would shoot in a flat line. Like if you had 5 guys standing in front of you.
Oh my God! So it was like
Theoretically-
the first AR-15 ever made.
Yeah. Theoretically, it would do that. I don't know if it actually worked. If it was a prototype.
Oh, it worked, I'm sure.
Yeah. Anything with gunpowder close to it.
Yeah.
You know, dead person each shot right here.
Yeah, every one of them's yep.
Yeah.
Every see, what's funny is leftist people like think that place is just you could just smell the death. Whereas you and Marty and I, people are listening, are like, man, that is a freaking one of the coolest places.
Oh, it
could go
is. And then
into.
they had a ton of Native American guns there that they didn't make them, but the ones they had captured and done up themselves.
Yeah, so talk about what you were telling me about the pins in there.
Yeah, they
The
tacked. They
tacks.
put the tacks, and I think when I was a kid, all the saddles had the round tacks,
Brass tack.
the brass tacks, and they were all in their stocks of the guns and on the forestock and everywhere.
What do you suppose that was for, Marty?
I think decoration.
Right, but I think they took them off of saddles. In my opinion,
Well-
where would they have got the tacks from, or could you buy them at the store?
Yeah.
They were a trade good. Because
Oh, okay.
back
Okay.
in them days, you know, the decorated saddles with the
Yeah.
the spots
Yeah.
on, that was later.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
your
you just got a
Texas-
black.
Yeah,
You got a black saddle.
yeah. Your Texas Trail Drover wasn't going to have
Right. Didn't need to wait.
spots on it.
You're right.
You know,
So-
they called the spots.
Why? What was the gun of choice there for the natives? What was that? Was it a musket or was it a repeater?
No, it was the old lever action.
Oh, okay.
Most
Hey.
of them were in there, and they even had some gun stocks that had broke, and they had put a blade in them for a tomahawk type thing.
Damn, I like that.
Yeah, they had it. Yeah, so it was really neat. I mean,
I mean, Blue Coach didn't like it, but I do.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I'd highly recommend it if anyone's got, and don't just plan an hour or two. I mean,
Yeah.
you really couldn't even get through one room in an hour or two. And they had a general store set up in there, and you could buy a 3240 Winchester lever action for $18.50. And if you wanted a round barrel, and if you wanted an octagon, it was $19.50.
No, what year was that? Do you remember when that?
I don't. They didn't have the year. I was seeing 1800s somewhere.
God, if a guy could go back in time and just.
Oh,
load
Lord.
up on him.
But what I don't understand, and I was kind of wondering, I was hoping Gene would stick with us. He would probably know, or somebody must know. I thought the octagon barrel was how they all came. This one, the
I did
octagon
too.
The octagon barrel was an upgrade. So I don't know.
I mean, got to be just cosmetic, right? It couldn't have been. Or I mean, they do look cool. I think octagon.
Well,
barrels-
I think to me the octagon would be more accurate because like our bull barrels are more accurate than a regular deer rifle
Mhm.
getting heated up. You know, your
Mhm.
first shot's probably all the same. You know, but that bull barrel is designed to take more heat.
That was the early days of fluting the barrel. Why it was called octagoning it.
Yeah, apparently, but
Cools off
was-
quicker. You can shoot faster again.
right.
So yeah, that's awesome though. I mean, was there people walking around answering your questions, or if you had something, did you kind of have to hunt somebody down?
There was a few people around there, but we didn't really ask. You know, there was some people.
Well, how you probably know everything about them anyways. Gun nut.
No, I'm not a gun nut like you. I am, but I'm not knowledgeable.
Yeah.
I know point, shoot, and pick it up when you're done. But
Well, you're good at that.
yeah, try. But there was like I said, there was people around there. I'm sure they would. But there's so much there. I don't know how the hell you could be aficionado of.
So they had like everything from those old guns all the way up to the most modern
Yeah,
thing
they
you could ever
actually
see.
had a new Gunworks.
Yeah.
Gunworks.
Yeah, Gunworks company, yeah, for sure.
With a nice Night Force stock scope on it, suppressed, modern deal right up there. I mean, they literally had everything. They had all the
Suppressor, that's for poachers and murderers.
yeah,
They were
Assassins.
decorated with human teeth.
yeah. Well, that was the other side.
So that's what I was thinking, Marty, about them tacks. I was gonna say maybe maybe when when they had the Indians fighting the Union troops coming out to that, maybe once they got somebody down off their horse, they pulled them tacks out and, well, hey, got a souvenir from this guy. I don't know.
I think they were
War
trade
trophy.
goods. Yeah, they were trade goods. And
Not that I blame them. I'd do the same thing. So
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it was really super neat. People need to go, and don't plan to spend an hour there.
and just for reference sake, because I was way wrong. How far is Cody from say Belle Fourche? In what direction?
Belle Fourche or Billings?
Belle Fourche. If you're in Belle Fourche and you say, I'm going to go to check out the Firearms Museum.
Oh, it's quite a ways, like 400 miles, I would say, somewhere in there. I'm not.
Yeah, see, because in my mind it was like 90 miles away, and when we looked it up, I was going, "Whoa, okay."
I don't have the exact deal. I know when you get to Billings, it's not that far to shoot up there.
So Billings is closer than it is to Belle Fourche.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so it's in northern Wyoming, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
But definitely, if you're, like I said, plan a couple days
Okay.
if you can do it.
I'm gonna do one more commercial here, guys, and I got another Second Amendment bullet point, and then we're gonna hit the happy ending.
Okay.
And we got anything else we're gonna hit on? Maybe some people are craving some angry political speak. We can squeeze some of that in there too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Marty's eyes got all big. I'm laughing. All right, so here we're gonna do one more single ad here, and we'll come back. I'm gonna do it, and trust me, if you hang in there, because you're gonna laugh at this Second Amendment bullet point, I promise you. So hang on.
Lauer Auto Repair. They're located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota, or give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can tackle any problem your vehicle is having, and when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with the Pro Second Amendment America First Repair Shop. There's plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area, but why take the chance of patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake, Lauer Auto is your Pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them you heard they're a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our Pro Second Amendment, Pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308, located at 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota.
You bet. And like I said, you get into Lauer Auto Repair, the blind guy in North Dakota, make sure you tell them you heard it on Guns in the 701 and you appreciate them supporting shows like this. Because, hey, could Clay and I do this? Yeah, we could. It'd be 100% out of our pocket. But, I mean, having good sponsors like this, awesome sponsors, Pro America sponsors, it makes this not only fun, it makes it a lot easier for us to do it and cover the cost of things. Because it costs more than you think. So we appreciate our sponsors, and please let them know that you appreciate them supporting us, because they're supporting us, they're supporting you, and we're getting the message out here. So, all right, we got. I thought this was funnier than you guys will, but I mean it's short. But Clayton told me about this shooting at a baseball game, and I think it was a Chicago White Sox game here. And he didn't know the details of it, but he heard about it. So, and I looked it up, and here's the story I got out of this. So, 2 women were actually shot inside a White Sox stadium. If you don't know the White Sox are, Chicago White Sox, during a home game last Friday. And now it's being reported that one of the victims allegedly snuck the gun in the stadium, tucking it in between her rolls of her belly fat.
Oh my God.
The shooting occurred during the 4th inning as the White Sox played the Oakland A's. One of the gunshot victims reportedly snuck the gun in, like I said here, past the metal detectors, hiding it in the folds of her belly fat, USA Today pointed out. The gun discharged, grazing the belly of the 26-year-old woman who snuck it in and striking a 42-year-old woman in the leg next to her. The 42-year-old was hospitalized in fair condition. The 26-year-old refused medical treatment. Maybe it was a 22 then or something. I don't know. Because they can bounce off your forehead, right, Marty?
Yeah.
Chicago intern police superintendent Fred Waller said the game was allowed to go on after the incident because police didn't want to create a panic. But, I mean, that should have been just like a silencer in there, right? If it was tucked in the bird's nest there on her. I mean, just tuck her right in here and sneak it into a ball game, and then the metal detector can't even see it. So
Had to sound like a sigh going through grass.
I mean, that's something. I don't know. Like I said, I probably thought it was funnier than most people. But you can tuck a gun in your rolls there and sneak it into a baseball game.
That just leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Oh,
I hope they oiled the gun up good.
It was well oiled.
yeah, because that sucker's gonna rust up pretty quick. It gets pretty humid in there. So.
Right.
Oh, I see we got. I'm going to go to these chats here. I see we got a couple comments pop up here. Lynette said, her kitties are smarter than Joe Biden. They do actually. Her and Axel got a couple cute little kittens. I have seen them a few times. Potato is smarter than Biden. Kevin Geggs, absolutely, Kevin. Dougie says Chicago versus Oakland makes sense. Someone was shot, so
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
It definitely does. And I mean, if you sneak guns into any sporting event and your rolls of fat, you know what you are.
Nasty person.
Yes, you are. Thank you for that, President Trump.
Thank you.
All right, so we're gonna move on here to our happy ending of the week. And normally I like my endings a little happier than this, but this one's still pretty sweet. It's coming to us, Ann Arbor, Michigan. We got a 77-year-old homeowner. Heard what sounded like somebody opened a screen door around dinner time. Just come back here in May. He found someone already in the kitchen. The stranger was a tall man who looked to be in his 20s. He forced his way through a window over the sink. So he crawled in, right? The homeowner had his gun, fired one shot at the intruder. I don't think he hit him. He fled through the same window. This 77-year-old said he went out the window head first. So all he had to do was shoot. And this sucker dove through the window like Greg Louganis coming off the high board there. And, the armed citizen said he was younger than me, no doubt stronger than me. I'm 77 years old. I was in my house, and I defended myself with my firearm. Police are still investigating the matter. They never did find if this guy was shot or whatever, but the one shot was enough to scare this guy back out the window. He crawled in head first, and he dove out head first. So, right, all he had to do was hear this sucker, and he went out, just like the road runner going out getting away from the coyote there or something. So I was happy ending there. The guy protected himself, defended himself with his firearm, which by all rights everybody has to do, as far as I'm concerned, no matter what state you live in. So,
Exactly.
with that, guys, you got anything else you wanna add in here from what we were talking about? Is something on your mind you want to hit on, or are we good?
I think we covered most of it. I don't know.
Well,
Okay.
the big thing is with these dogs is to get them out. I mean, dogs are like kids. The more you do with them, the better results you're going to have. And just get, whatever kind of hunting you're into, if you can involve an animal or a kid, you're going to have a more fun of a time, and you're going to have better results.
Yep, for sure. I mean, and like I said earlier in the show, hunting behind Wyatt's dogs has definitely made me a huge fan of hunting behind a dog. Because, man, I was younger, I'd put Marty, I know it's hard to believe, but even Billy, he'd come out and walk all day with me. You try to get him to do that now, not so much. But he is into shooting the prairie dogs now, which he was a lot better at it. I should say I knew he was going to be good. He sniped them pretty good there. So, and I did get his cheap AR that was put together with Frankenstein parts. I got it all back together for him. It should hang together next time we head out and blast some down there in Biz's place. So,
Absolutely.
which the second time around wasn't as good, was it, Wyatt? I thought maybe we cleared a few more out because we kind of noticed that like something came through there. I don't know if it killed them off or poisoned them or what happened there, right?
No, he kind
They
of
got the plague or.
It was too wet. They seem to thrive more on a dry year. When it's dry, it just seems like there's more prairie dogs. And I don't know if that's the fact you can see them because the grass ain't as tall.
Because you asked Biz if he poisoned them, right? And he said, no, it just looks like they're we noticed that right away because we've shot there many times. And thanks, Eric Glauser. He said, another great show. Appreciate it, Eric. Thanks for hanging in there. I don't know if you got that buck or if it's getting a little dark, but if you didn't, I hope you're successful here next time you go out, buddy. Appreciate it.
Also, it's a little known fact that Bigfoot hunts prairie dogs.
Those are
If you've got a Bigfoot, Sasquatch,
Yeah.
whatever, wild man, hairy man, whatever you want to call them,
Mhm.
if they move into your area, you can expect the small game like the raccoons or the prairie dogs or whatever you got. They're gone.
They move on.
Yeah.
So what I want to see Bigfoot do is go down to Florida in the Everglades where he's got these Burmese pythons and it'd be like King Kong movie wrestling with them. Man, I don't get why they don't just cut people loose to just exterminate the hell out of those things.
I don't know why they couldn't.
What could possibly come of the good of these? I mean, how these things are like 30 feet long and big around down here is a 5-gallon bucket.
Well, did you see the kid that got the one? They got a competition down there, and he won it. A 15-foot. It weighed like, I don't know, was it 600 or 700 pounds?
God,
Python.
that
He
is
won.
unbelievable.
He was done.
Yeah.
He was on the news somewhere. But I mean,
Marty, you know a lot more about this than me, but what possible good can that do for an ecosystem?
Well, nothing. I know guys that hunt down there. All the raccoons are gone. All the small game is gone. They're even taking out the apex predators, which would be alligators.
Yeah, I've seen
They're
them eat them
taking a lot
swallow.
of whitetail fawns, and even that big of a python, a deer, a whitetail doe down there, isn't 100 pounds, and that's nothing.
Yeah.
Pythons are like politicians. There should be a price on their head.
Yeah, I'm laughing, but Marty's right about that. That's a great analogy right there. I'm also laughing at this comment we got here from Tom. Speaking of the story, I had the second story there, the 2A bullet point of the woman, and he said, "Wouldn't that be called a FUP holster?"
a what holster?
A FUP, an FUP. I can't say it on here, but use your imagination. Tom, I think that's exactly what it's called. What's that, Wyatt?
I can't read it because of Lauer Auto Repair.
Yeah, we got that loud and proud up there.
Oh, absolutely.
I do. Lauer Auto just commented over that one, actually. He said, Florida laws handicap snake hunting. Wow, figure that. Wow, hey, see, not that he's going to win, but that'd be a good bonus for Ronnie D to tell the legislature down there.
Christ.
Yeah, I mean, like Marty said, they're worthless. They're killing all the other game off, and eating deer. And I've seen them too, Marty. Like you said, the apex. Christ, they're swallowing alligators whole.
Yeah.
And if they can do that, I can assure you, any human being, they can. We're a light snack for them. Then. I mean, it's
back in the day. They come back here and cleaned out all the timber wolves and everything that was here at one time because they were killing everything, so you could have livestock.
Yeah.
You can't tell me and game. So you can't tell me we can't go down there and clear them bastards out. Yeah,
but man, if you ever go online and watch like on social media and you say that, you'd be shocked how many like snake lovers there are. They think it's as evil as hell to kill snakes off. I'm like, what's wrong with you people?
Supposed to be. Go get one. You can have one. Just keep it in your damn house.
Yeah, and then you see the videos.
Plenty of snakes there already. They had eastern diamondbacks. They had copperheads. They didn't need the pet market to turn a bunch of pythons loose, and now people want to protect them.
Yeah.
So what do you think of python? Would a python eat like a western diamondback?
Oh, I think they eat anything to get their mitts.
Because they're way bigger. I mean, if a poisonous snake, a venomous snake would even hit a python, it wouldn't even probably hurt them, would it?
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, that would be good viewing. The python against eastern diamondback. You know what? I think like 7-8 feet for an eastern diamondback, and we're talking
that's a big
15 feet or even some of these
but they're 15 feet and it's big around.
Like I said, put a price on their head. Send kids out there and let them shoot them with 22s. 10-22s, blast them all.
Because, I mean, they're not that tough, are they? I mean, a 22 would definitely probably do, or are they?
I'll tell you what, them buggers, well, look at a bull snake. I mean, them buggers, you see one get run over on the road. I don't kill bull snakes, but you see one killed on the road or run over on the road, that thing slithers around there for a long time. Imagine if he was 16 feet long.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true too. Or a turtle, all them reptiles. Yeah, good point. And I mean, I had that video too of Doug and Lynette. Dougie shot that rattler out there, and that big sucker. That was a pretty thick beast there. I don't think I'd have wanted that one hitting me. But Eric Newman here in the comments, he's ready to chase some coons with you, Marty. He said he just chased the neighbor's knothead bull out of the pasture, so he he's ready to get running after some. Doug says they turned the Everglades into a state park, so now one can go into the Everglades with an airboat or the swamp buggies. So, now no one can go. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, you can't even hunt them then, right? If it's a state park, you can't hunt the state
They
park.
were walking in after these bastards. That's how that kid got it.
I mean, that's a lack of common sense, making something easier for people to get rid of something that's just a drag on society and then game in general. But whatever, I guess that's Florida's problem if they want to let them ridiculous things get huge and keep going out of control. But all right, I'll tell you what, guys, we're coming up here on about an hour and 45, and I'm just going to do a few plugs here. And if you guys got anything to add before we lit out of here and they found out who he was, you just get that lined up. But every Friday we're on Mitchell in the morning, 7:40 a.m. Mountain, 8:40 a.m. Central Time. That's Todd Mitchell Show, KFYR 5:50 a.m. As a matter of fact, I got to say when the twin season is over, Clay and I, which is going to be in about 2 weeks, Clay and I are actually going to start at 8:15 in the morning and go till about 5 to 9. So we're going to be going longer on KFYR every Friday. And coming up on Patriots Day on the 11th, it's actually going to be our last show on KFYR Plus on KFYR TV's live stream. So if you guys want to catch that, no, we didn't get fired, and there was no hard feelings. We're just parting ways. I mean, Clay and I are doing a lot of things here, and it's taking up a lot of time. And we just figured, we're going to get a little extra time on KFYR. We're hitting our demographic more. We're getting a lot more eyes and ears on that. So check out our last show there, KFYR Plus in the Crosshairs with Jay Dillon. That's going to be on the 11th. That's at 12:30 Central, 11:30 a.m. Mountain. That's going to go for about 30 minutes like usual. And after that, just look for us, like I said, every Friday, Todd Mitchell Show, 8:40 a.m. Central, KFYR 5:50 a.m. and on iHeartRadio. We're on it because Todd knows we're the best podcast on iHeart, baby.
Absolutely.
Love it and appreciate KFYR Plus with Jay and JR getting us on there. That was awesome. It was a great experience. We've been on there since I think end of January, beginning of February, and coming up here either the end of September or the beginning of October is going to be 1 year we've been on with Todd. So it's awesome. We're looking to keep going on KFYR, and hopefully you guys find us entertaining and informative because that's what we're on there for, and to get the freedom message out like Daryl's doing on there and everybody else on KFYR. So
yeah, after we get into bird season, we'll have to have another show on the dogs.
100%. We'll come back on here and we'll let Mike and everybody know, and I will how Deuce is doing, and of course JR. Like we were just talking about JR, he's got Nova.
Yeah,
and we'll let you know if JR liked Wyatt's T-post fence climber there. And
oh yes, coming, JR. It's coming.
Oh, that's great. Eric Newman says Daisy BB gun to the head of rattlesnakes kills them instantly with no damage. Like that. And Eric's a big rattlesnake guy too. Well, Marty used to do some little rattlesnake hunting there too. I remember.
His own hide right there.
Right there.
Oh, sweet. Really? That's freaking badass. You made that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, actually, a rattlesnake made it. I just made it into
You just made it fit.
Yeah.
But I don't have python boots, but maybe if I go to
Yeah. Get me a hogskin coat and a python boots.
Yeah. I
know one of them little things they got. Them other look like a rat.
Nutria.
Yeah. Man, they shoot them off of airboats in Louisiana. I watch it. I mean, if something looks funner than shooting maybe prairie dogs, that might be it, actually. And that'd be awesome for your shotgun, too, because them guys smoke them things at close range. So that would be fun.
Hey, you still got a sling for giveaway, right?
Yep, I do. I'm looking right there.
Whoever comes up with the song that talks about a suitcase made out of rattlesnake hide gets that sling.
All right, you heard that. We the listeners are dwindling, but we'll do it. I mean, I'll cover the shipping. If you live in town, I'll deliver it right to you. Search it up.
Suitcase made out of rattlesnake hide.
All right.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not even sure which one you're talking about.
Well, your next show, they'll be able to tell you.
All right. Unless you're really smart, you get it in right now.
I don't know. He runs in a different realm than I do.
Yep. I was actually talking to Clay about running another trivia question about that, but Marty came up with one that I certainly would have. Mine would have probably been a lot easier. So I'll tell you what, next week even Clayton's going to be back. He's down. I can't remember what he's doing, but appreciate Wyatt and Marty filling in for him. It was a fun show, you guys. I had an awesome time doing this with you guys. It was great. But what we're going to do, I'm actually going to might be a little controversial to some people, but I'm actually going to put it up as I didn't do a question this week, a poll question, but I'm going to do it. If people think more public hunting land would be beneficial to North Dakota, I'm going to put that up there. I know where Clayton stands on that one for sure, 100%, but I think it'd be a good topic, good discussion. We're going to do that in a poll question right off the top next Wednesday. We're going to give you the I'll post it tomorrow. So if you're looking to answer on there, do that. Guns N' Roses sings that Eric Newman said.
That's one of them. There's actually two songs.
Okay, but Marty wants the name of the song.
Well, he's right. We're going to give it to him. But
all right, Eric, you got it, buddy.
The Old Man Down the Road by John Fogerty was the one I was thinking
really?
of. But, yeah.
Okay, I love that song. I didn't know I didn't know he sang about his rattlesnake suitcase.
Yeah.
I remember the video. They followed the cord down the road for the whole song. And then at the end, he had right by his amp playing. But all right, Eric, you got it, man. Next time Clay's up, and I'll send it down with him, or if you're up here for sure, it's the get my glasses off so I can read far. Yeah, the Patriot. It's the Patriot sling. I know it's actually pretty sweet, Marty. I don't know where you got them. They got a great message on there. But yeah, it's a sweet sling. I know last time I think Fargo. I think somebody from Fargo won that one. But yep. All right, Guns. What was the name of the Guns N' Roses song?
Well,
I'm hearing crickets.
I don't know.
Just go listen to the John Fogerty one.
Yeah.
The old man down the road.
All right.
And I think that Guns N' Roses were referencing John Fogerty's song.
Okay.
Not an expert on Axl Rose. I don't even care for him anymore. He can disappear for all I
Axl needs to get more on the coon jerky low carb thing than what he's been eating. So, all right, guys. Eric says, "Thank you, sir. You're welcome, Eric. Thanks for hanging with us, everybody. Appreciate it." Actually, I think we might have set a record for the longest show. Sorry, Clay. We thought we were going to do it, but like I said, fun show again. Thank Wyatt and thank Marty for joining me.
I'm going hunting. Easy. We'll see you.
All right, we'll see you, Marty. Good luck, Marty. Have fun, buddy. I know you'll get what you're after, but all right, Wyatt. I'll tell you what. We're gonna hit the end stream here, okay. And after that, we're just hang in there, and I'll talk to you for a little bit here after the show. So thanks, everybody.
Come here.
All right. Where's he at? Where's the Deuce? Is he hopping up there?
Get up here. Come on. Get up here. All right, Marty left. That's his buddy.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'm going to cut it off here. I'll talk to you shortly, Wyatt.
All right, sounds good, man.
You bet.
Have a good night. Thanks, everybody.
You too.